Hey everybody, just give me a moment here. Just give me one moment. All right, just a moment. Making sure I have everything ready. Sure I got everything. Yeah. Just a moment. All right, looks like I'm good. Okay. All right, everyone ready? All right, it is 12:59. We gotta wait for that 1 o'clock. Make sure everyone gets ready. Okay. Everyone pretty excited? All right, it's 1 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first. Please make sure that you have a pen and paper available just in case you need to take any type of notes. And there is something I do have to disclose here. Now, yes, I'm under the Maryland Board of Physicians. I'm a pulmonary care practitioner. I have over 25 years experience, all that jazz. Yes, I'm an actual clinician. Yes, I have an active license. Anybody has the autonomy to go on to the Maryland Board of Physicians and look up my license, just in case. I always like to look up people's license, just to make sure that person is an actual clinician. So here's my badge. Okay. Now, that being said, first, please do not compare this pulmonary rehab program to any other program out there that anybody's ever been to. We're not putting anybody down, but this one's a whole different animal, okay? It is a pulmonary rehab program, but the reason why we're so successful in it is because we implement more of the breathing exercises than anybody in North America. That's a fact, okay? The national average of any success rate is around 8 to 11% successful. Just look it up at the American Lung Association, American Chest Physicians. There's a lot of other organizations, American Association of Cardiovascular Pulmonary Rehabilitation. This program here is a 99% success rate. I don't have to be directly in front of you right now to physically put, let's say, an incentive spirometer into your hand. You can easily pick that up. Okay, so this is not inferior to a traditional brick and mortar facility. I just want you to understand that. Now, that being said, where's my coffee? Like my mug? I got an English Bulldog, I love that. And a French Bulldog. Okay, let's see here. Oh, and the other thing is, no two pulmonary rehabs are identical with each other. I want to make sure that's, one program could be better than the other and stuff, but we just happen to be a very, very good one. So, don't do any exercises you don't feel you're comfortable doing, okay? But for pulmonary rehab, I did see on Facebook and on YouTube, a lot of people were signing up to see me, and I think that's fantastic. Yes, on Facebook, I can't see you, but in the actual program, I can. So if you guys just give me one hot second here, just grab a pen and paper, and I will only be about 2 minutes on this. 2 minutes, tops. So let me share something with you here. Make sure I have everything correct because I have to go over these. So let me fast forward this a little bit. This is how the program works in the My New Lungs and HRN program. We're basically...
Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Is not
now breathe in through the mouthpiece.
Or something's not being done correctly.
Bring it up,
then I'll work with you until you're up to a good level.
Much better.
There's no such thing as a weak link in our team.
Marilyn, you went a lot higher than that.
Just a little bit more. Yes, we do yoga, Tai Chi, dietary. But here,
exhale, 1,000, 2,
very successful.
3,
yes, that's why
4, in just a little bit more, Catherine.
Into this program,
you give me 5 seconds.
But what I'm doing right now is just a Facebook pulmonary rehab. Okay, but if you want to actually join into this program itself, I'm not going to say no, just because I'm able to see you and we can of course do more advanced things. Like if I see that you're not doing well in a class, I pull you out and watch this.
5 seconds.
I pull
and
you
we're done.
out,
5 seconds and we're done.
One-on-one.
5. I need you to speed it up, Catherine. Speed it
and
up.
this
Come on
person
now.
was getting a little
Come
upset
on.
with me. And
Pass that finish line. Pass that finish line.
So this person was getting a little
And
upset.
go ahead and stop.
And I got her for the first time to go
goodness,
fast, but I had to trick her a little bit.
You did it!
I got
You
her
did
past
it!
what she couldn't do before.
And Catherine,
Because she was always cutting it
The other
quick.
day
She
when
was
I
always
did it on
cutting
my own,
out
only
too
lasted
fast.
9 minutes.
Catherine, I was lying to you.
Yeah,
Purposely for a good reason, though. You went over 12 minutes.
I thought I heard the thing go off. Your
I know.
timer.
There's no such thing as a
You went
weekly.
over 12 minutes.
It's just some people
Oh,
are not
God.
informed or
Insanely
maybe
proud of
not
you.
understand. And we just do
Don't
exercises
forget the
together,
breathe.
you know, and I don't have to be directly in front of you, but I need to be able to see you like I am on here with these guys on Zoom.
Push!
Okay?
Push! Almost done! Almost done!
So I just want to make sure we're clear. This, what we're doing right now, is going to be a little different from what's in when we do it with Zoom. Okay? So I saw a lot of people signing up for the Mind You Lungs, which I think is great. Let me just show you how to get into class for those that are trying to get into Mind You Lungs to see me and work out with me or with the group. Let me show you how to get into that. So let's see here. You have to sign up for mindyulungs.com. When you start out with chapter 0 right here, you're going to see this video here.
Well,
you'll see me all over the place. You'll see the team. That's me right there. There's Melanie, you know, and you just press continue. Then you get to this screen here, okay? And just so you know where that's at, as soon as you sign up for this, for the preface section on chapter 0, the third one in is time to meet your clinicians. So this is that page right here. And what you would do is class times are Eastern time, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., of course, Eastern Standard Time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. When to get into class, okay, when you sign up for Mind You Lungs, I will show you how to use Mind You Lungs, but come into class first so I can get to know you a little bit, so I can understand what's going on, okay? And I will show you how to use this, all right? We'll take it step by step. I don't want any confusion here. But if you click on this picture right here of me, that will open up Zoom for you, take you directly to the class itself, and it automates everything. If you're going into Melanie's, you just click on her picture and it'll take you directly to class. Okay? All right? Now remember that we do have a phone number on there, so anytime you get confused, just call us. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into exercise. Okay? First things first. All right, first, put your pulse oximeter on if you have a pulse oximeter. Place it onto your ring finger. The ring finger is the most vascular finger. Okay, place it on your ring finger and just wait that 30 seconds. For those that do not know, a pulse ox, it doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter. As long as they're FDA approved, you have to wait its proper amount of time, which is 30 seconds. So you want to wait 30 seconds. So whatever number shows up, don't count it as correct until 30 seconds. Also, do a modified Allen's test to find out if you have any, don't worry if this sounds confusing to you. I know it's a little confusing because I guess no one's really teaching these type of things. But just hang on, okay? I won't make it that confusing. So anyways, it's going to be a lot of information. So anyways, imagine 3 months with me. So I want to find out which hand is best to use for my pulse ox. I need the most vascular hand. So I'm going to do what we call a modified Allen's test. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clench my hand nice and tight, and this is something you would do. Clench your hand nice and tight, and then open it up and count how fast does blood circulate back to this hand. If it's 3 seconds or less, good. You know, well, technically if it's 5 seconds or less, it's good. So here, let's count mine. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Not bad. Good hand to use for a pulse ox. If I check with my other hand and did the same exact thing, okay, I open it up, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that's because I have my hand around my wrist. But if you have poor circulation, that would show. Use the hand that's the most vascular, okay? So check your pulse ox, make sure you're within good numbers. Good numbers is 88 or above. Okay, 88% or above. That's normal. Okay, 88% or above. All right, now, once you check that, and if you're still okay, all right, if your oxygen is still good, just make sure, but also check your heart rate. Make sure your heart rate is, and everyone, try to relax. Don't worry, I'm a good guy, I promise. I'm ex-military, yes, I'm a pilot, I do this, I do that, whatever. We've all done things in our life, you know, but no worries. Of course, I am working remotely. I'm in my own house in my gym. I'm covering on my motorcycle because I don't want anybody to see my motorcycle. And yes, it's a good motorcycle. It's a Harley Fat Boy, but I'm just covering it up just to create a better scenery. Anyways, okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Hey. All right. So, all right. First things first now. So we check with the pulse ox. Okay, we're going to do our incentive spirometry. So go ahead and grab that incentive spirometer. This is a measuring tool. So let me show you how to do this first. This is what they should be telling you how to do this. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to step by step. Even if you've done this a billion times, still follow these directions, okay? So I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to exhale every single ounce of air out of my lungs. And then I'm going to place this mouthpiece in my mouth and then breathe in. As I breathe in, I have to make sure that this part right here, which is the flow meter, and this right here, which is called the piston chamber, are in view. But this is the most critical one, okay? Very critical. You want to keep that around here. Sorry. Around where the arrows are at, or between the proper parameters there. So here we go. I'm going to take a deep breath in. Watch how we do this. Chest up. Exhale. One, two, three. Pull my chest up, exhale again, 4 seconds or more until there's no air left in your lungs. You're measuring how much air can travel into your lungs, okay? If, rough guess, I mean, unless I know your height, because it's all based off of height, but if you're close to 2,000 or above, you're good. If you're less than that, do you know what animal breathes at 500 milliliters? Right there. Do you know which animal? A squirrel. Look it up, please. A squirrel uses that lung volume to stay alive. And that's what you're using, and you're a human being. No good, okay? So, yeah, you want to try to get, you want human volumes. So you want, you know, you want to be able to breathe in deep enough to get a chest rise. But anyways, 2,000, if you come into class and I know what your height is, I'll give you exactly where you should be at on this. But you got to make sure you're exhaling everything out. So, again, exhale. I'm going to talk out loud until I cannot speak anymore. That verifies I have no air left in my lungs to vocalize. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale everything out. Once you have 3 measurements, write down your average. To get your average, if you hit, let's say, and you measure from the top of the piston, because you never measure from the middle or the bottom, the top, because the top rim of that piston is right at that 0. Okay? So if I go up here, that's 500. If I go higher, that's 1,000. Okay? So just make sure you remember, top of the piston you measure from. Now, if your volumes are less than that and you're having a hard time, then we got to do respiratory muscle training. So let's go ahead and grab our respiratory muscle trainers. Go ahead and set it to its proper setting. If you have a Delta V, set it to a number 5. Place it in your mouth when you're ready. Now, of course, I cannot speak with this in my mouth, so I'm going to have to pretend this is in my mouth while I'm coaching you. Okay? Now, when I breathe into my deepest, my chest is facing 45 degrees up. Okay, when I exhale, my chest is facing 45 degrees down. Okay, well, maybe about 30 to 40 degrees, not 45. This would be more like 45, but anyways, you understand. So here we go. You have 4 seconds to fill your lungs up. I'm going to count 5 1,000 and 6 1,000. I'm going to go 2 extra seconds above your inhale. Okay, above your inhale. What I want you to do is, once you hit that, remember, you have filled your lungs up at what time? In 4 seconds in. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, you should have maximized your volume. You should have filled your lungs up all the way. Then I'm going to count 5 1,000, 6 1,000. When I get to those numbers, I want you to keep trying to draw air into your lungs. Okay? Even though I know there is not going to be any extra air coming in. But that's not the point. The point is to keep the muscles in between the ribs and the diaphragm at a constant state of tension. Okay? Now remember, a breath, chest rise breath, that's called a regular breath. If I see somebody sitting like this and they're breathing like this, no chest rise, no good. I know for a fact that person, if they stand up, they're breathing that shallow, okay, and they stand up, I know their oxygen's going to drop, their heart rate's going to come up too high, okay, meaning they're going to get very out of breath. So we don't want that to happen. Make sure you're using proper lung volumes. Here we go. Delta V's in the mouth. If you're using coffee straws, grab some coffee straws. And guys, I can show you a lot of other techniques too. I go over 1,700 of them, okay? Delta V's in the mouth. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick that chest up. 5, 6. Sip, sip, sip. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Keep it in your mouth. Keep it in your mouth. Exhale. Exhale. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sip, sip, sip. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sip, sip, sip. Take it out of your mouth. Give yourself a good 3 strong coughs. Show me a good strong cough. And if you're coughing like this, not a good cough. Deeper the breath, the bigger the grab of congestion. So you breathe in. Much stronger than if I did this. Not enough power behind it. So the bigger the volume, the more the grab of congestion, if you will. Okay? All right. Delta V's back in the mouth. Delta V's back in the mouth. Here we go. All right, here we go. Inhale. Fill your lungs up. Pull that chest up. Inhale. Keep going. Pull, 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 pull. Chest up, chest up, chest up. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sip, sip, sip. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just curious here because I'm noticing a lot of people coughing. Let's do a proper cough, okay? If your cough is very weak and you're having a hard time getting rid of anything, first things first, if it's very thick, okay, drink water. Wait about 15 minutes. Wait for the globulin mast cells to produce more enzymes to loosen up that congestion, okay? If your cough is still weak, do a splinting technique. Take your fist, find the bottom right where your stomach is at, kind of like giving yourself a Heimlich. Take your fist, apply here, not on your chest, on your stomach. Now, it's almost like giving yourself a Heimlich. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a nice deep breath, as deep as you can, and push up as you cough. Your cough will increase its strength because you're using your arms to help assist with that. And I'll help you understand. I'm trying to enunciate to make it easier because I do tend to talk fast. So, all right. Please don't take offense is what I'm trying to say. So put it here. Deep breath in. Push up as you cough. Okay? A huff cough, if you do not have a good cough, is you're going to do a huff cough. If you don't have a good enough cough, do a huff cough. Huff cough is where lean over, put your elbows on your knees. You take a deep breath in. You huff. You don't cough it. Second breath is the most critical. Breathe in, but slower. Breathe in slower. Because if you breathe in too fast, you might lodge everything that you just brought up with that first initial huff back in again. So you don't want to breathe in too quick the second breath. It's the most critical. So, first one. Okay, let's say I brought it up halfway. all right, the congestion or anything. Okay, I brought up halfway. If I breathe in too quick, what's going to happen? It's going to lodge it back in. So I don't want that to happen. So I breathe in slower, but I have to fill my lungs up all the way. Okay, that's a proper huff cough. All right, now, Delta V's. I think that's helped some people. Yeah, good. All right. Surprised people don't teach you these types of things. Anyways, Delta V's back in the mouth. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your shoulders 90 degrees and stay in this one direction. Here we go. Delta V's in the mouth. Inhalation time is only 4 seconds, but try to fill your lungs up in 2 seconds or less. You can do it. But by the way, this is not correct. Turning your whole body 90 degrees is not correct. Your legs still face straight. You're just turning your 90 degrees. You got to turn your torso. Okay? This is a bit of a lung stretch, by the way. Delta V's in the mouth. Respiratory muscle trainers in the mouth. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and switch. Switch to the other side now. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Now, breathing that much, you might get a little dry mouth, might feel a little lightheaded. Just slow it down a little bit. You're just getting rid of a lot of carbon dioxide. Okay, when you breathe like that, you're getting rid of a lot of carbon dioxide. So just make sure you understand that. Every time you take one breath, 30% of the oxygen that one breath goes to your brain, 20% goes to your heart. That's 50% of every breath you've ever taken ever since you were born went to those main organs alone. Now, the organ that consumes the most amount of oxygen is that brain. It consumes 30% at rest. But if you have an anxiety attack, okay, if you're becoming anxious, having an anxiety attack, being scared of something, okay, you understand what I'm talking about, right? Everyone understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So if you have an anxiety attack, your brain is actually not going to consume its resting 30%. It might consume 60, 70% of your oxygen because you're overworking it. That's why if you see somebody that has an anxiety attack, they're sitting still and not sure what's going on. I think I'm having a heart attack. The brain's just consuming more than their legs. Okay, so you gotta stay calm. All right, stay in your comfort zones when you exercise with me. Okay, but there are times where you're gonna have to step outside your comfort zone sometimes. Okay, but step by step, tippy toe in. All right. Okay. Please make sure you have your pulse oximeter with you. Please also make sure you have something to drink, and don't forget something to write down just in case. Now, we're going to do some easy stretches, okay? Easy stretches. Now, it is very helpful if I'm able to see you, but I can still do it this way. That's fine, okay? No worries, everybody. All right, everyone sit up straight. Chest, yeah, there you go. And can you please stop breathing that shallow? You know, you're breathing as good as a corpse, and it's going to scare the living daylights out of me. I'm out of breath by looking at you. Just make sure you're breathing in deep enough to get a chest rise, okay? Yeah, you don't breathe, yeah. Derek, don't breathe shallow. Here we go. Ready? All right, stretches. Chin down to sternum. Very easy. Head rotations 3 times each direction. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay, now we're going to do shoulder rotations. Do full rotations. Don't do this. What the heck is that? Make sure you're rotating your shoulders. Good circular motions with your shoulders. You're going to give a stretch. This helps prevent injury. Okay? All right, here we go. Circle rotations with your shoulders. Up and around. Up and around. Ooh, that feels good. Up and around. Good. Up and around. Up and around. Opposite direction. Up and around. Up and around. Good. All right, when's the last time you ever stretched your lungs? Can we do it? Okay. It is best if I can see you so I can make sure you're doing it right. But anyways, we'll save that for mind your lungs. Anyways, all right, lung stretch. You're going to take a deep breath in. Hold it. Do not exhale. Pivot 90 degrees. Not this much or not like you're about to toot. Make sure you're tilting at least 90 degrees. If you cannot do that because you have a bad back or something, turn your shoulders 90 degrees as you hold your breath. So either way, okay? Here we go. Inhale. Pick that chest up. Hold. Pivot. Exhale. Hold time is only 3 seconds, okay? Because you have to hold your breath for only 3 seconds, though. Here we go. Other side. Inhale. Okay? Or I could have done this. Remember, there was 2 options there. This way or this way. All right? All right. Feel a little lightheaded? Just slow it down. It's fine. Your brain's just not, your body's not used to this much volume. You know, it's not used to your lungs working, you know, so you're starting to use them more. And you're going to start finding the food will be tasting different. Memory acuity will be enhanced. Balance will get better because now you're getting everything your brain needs, what your body wants, what it needs. You got to use those lungs. You know, if there's that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Okay, next. Pull, oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Arms all the way out, small circles. Roughly about the size of a basketball, maybe. Okay, larger circles, about the size of a beach ball. Opposite direction. Now go really large circles, about the size of an umbrella. Up and around. And yes, that lung stretch is one of the main things I do for pulmonary fibrosis. I'm a specialist with pulmonary fibrosis and COPD, but those specifically. Anyways, I get people breathing a heck of a lot better, especially when the doctor says, there's no chance. All right, grab one knee, do the best you can, stay within your abilities. Grab one knee, pull that knee real close to your chest, make circular motions with your toes, 3 times each direction. And then without bending your knee, without having your knee bent, extend your leg all the way out where the toes point towards you. You should feel a stretch, and make sure you keep your back straight. You should feel a stretch around the hamstrings and the calves. Hold that stretch. If your leg is too low, you won't feel it. It has to be at least at the same height as your chair. In my case, a stool. Like I can feel that. If I have it bent, I won't be able to feel it. Toes pointed towards you. Toes pointed towards you. Okay, switch. Switch out to the next one. Knee up. Circular motions with your toes, 3 times each direction. Everyone doing okay? Yeah. Breathe easy, don't worry. This gets better, I promise you. Okay? I've been doing this for 25 years. Extend your leg all the way out, toes more towards you. There's not one person I can't rehabilitate. Some people take longer than others, but everybody benefits. You know, it's funny, we can't legally say, or I can't legally say as a clinician, that I can guarantee an increase in your lung functions. But 100%, going lower that leg, 100% of all of our patients all had an increase in lung functions. Even though we can't say that, because they said there's wordage you can't say. But the one thing we can say is that ever since we started, 100% of all of our patients all had an increase in lung functions from the reports we got from their doctors. So yes, it works out really well. Everyone still okay? Okay. Now, we're going to be doing some exercises, all right? Like I said, any of the exercises we do, I don't expect everyone to keep up at the same speed as me. Just stay within your abilities. Don't get completely out of breath. Remember, being winded and being out of breath are two separate things, okay? Now, you're going to have some options here. You can either use a bike or you can do leg flutters. The next time we meet, we're going to do strength training, okay? Hi, Lisa. So, yeah, no worries, everyone, no worries. Yeah, if you have comments, go ahead and write in the comment sections. Okay, I'll review it, no worries. All right, so leg flutters. If you don't have a bike, you can do leg flutters. Leg flutters is where you basically lifting one knee at a time, kind of like you're pedaling a bike. All right, the duration is only going to be about, we'll go for 10 minutes, okay? Go easy. Don't overdo it, okay? But we have to incorporate the proper breathing. The breathing is the most critical with any exercise. Most clinicians, at least the ones I know, most clinicians will put somebody on a bike or on a treadmill and they don't even show them how to breathe. Some of them don't even know how to breathe with the bike, you know, so they have nothing to tell to that patient. So the patient just gives out really quickly, you know. Anyways, you'll notice too, I do a lot of, basically I do a lot of recaps. So if I bring something up like pulse ox, I'm trying to refresh your mind from the other sessions. Okay, so you'll hear me do that a lot. Anyways, let's go ahead and get in position. So the two options, leg flutters or bike. But if you want to, I'm not going to say no if you want to walk in place, but you got to know how to breathe with it. Okay, now, to breathe correctly, by the way, you got to put a little trust in me. You got to put a little trust in me. I'll earn your trust as we go along, but in order for this to work, you got to put a little trust in me and trust in yourself a little bit, okay? Stop saying you can't do it because you'll never be able to do it, all right? Instead of saying I can't do it, say I can't do it yet. Add a positive in there. Stop being so negative on yourself, okay? So, anyways, one step, I breathe in. Remember, chest rise breath. That's called a regular breath, not a deep breath. A deep breath is where I fill my lungs up all the way. I don't want to do that. I want to fill my lungs up halfway, enough to get a chest rise. This will ensure I'm bringing enough oxygen into my body. I'm getting rid of enough carbon dioxide. Okay? All right, so one step I breathe in. How deep? For a chest rise. Remember? Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So if you're going to do walking in place, that's what I want you to do. All right, if you're going to do leg flutters, remember, just like a bike, one leg comes up, you breathe in. Make this one leg, okay, like make your right leg into the marker leg. So one leg is going to tell you when to breathe in and when to breathe out so you don't get confused. So one leg comes up, inhale, exhale. What is this other leg going to do? Continue on what this started off with. Inhale, keep inhaling. Exhale, keep exhaling. In, out, out. Breathe in, keep breathing in. Breathe out, keep breathing out. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Okay? You won't hyperventilate like this, I promise you. As long as you're moving, you're not going to hyperventilate. If you're sitting still breathing like that, of course you're going to hyperventilate. You're not moving. You got to develop the lactic acid in order for that to function that way. Okay? Lactic acid. It's when the muscle contracts, the muscle creates lactic acid from the brakes. That's how muscles build. Anyways, we'll go over that later on, right? Just understand, as you contract the muscle, lactic acid is produced. Lactic acid then turns and buffers out into your blood as carbon dioxide. What makes you feel winded? Carbon dioxide. So if you start moving, you probably won't feel out of breath that quick. But as you keep moving, you're going to start feeling it as the lactic acid starts building up. producing more and more carbon dioxide. You'll notice your heart rate climbing, okay? Don't allow your heart rate to go above 70% of its maximum heart rate. And does everyone remember what the maximum heart rate is? I hope. 220 minus your age. 220 minus your age, okay? And so, like, I'm 47 years old. 220 minus 47 is 173. I need to be at 70% of my max. 173 times 0.7, and that gives me 121 beats per minute. Okay, that means if I'm exercising, because of my age is 47, if I'm exercising, I have to keep my pulse at least anything close to 121 beats per minute. Not going higher and not going lower. Okay? Now, if I'm all using a bike, it works kind of like the same way as the leg flutters. As long as you don't break something. Of course, I always do something like that, right? Anyways. Talking about my bike. I think it was the water bottle. Anyways, one pedal comes around. Breathe in. Keep breathing in. Breathe out. Keep breathing out. It's a little tough to understand, but just try to work it through. The more practice you get, the better it is. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, keep inhaling. Exhale, keep exhaling. Breathe in, exhale. As your pace increases, your respiratory rate increases. Come on, everyone, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's start moving. Let's start moving. I'll start the timer. Let's start moving. I wish things got better by sitting still and just watching me and eating popcorn, but it doesn't work that way. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Start out slow. Start out slow. Don't go fast. Stop just moving your legs. Move your lungs. Your problem isn't your legs. The problem is you can't breathe. Focus on your problem, not the things that work. Focus on what doesn't work well. Breathe in. Breathe out. You'll find your work of breathing dropping down. You'll be able to tolerate the exercise longer. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and easy. Get the blood pumping. Get the blood pumping. Stop looking at your pulse ox religiously. You know how to be a patient. You forget how to be a human. Come on now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Don't just watch me. You got to move. Got to move. And I can't wait to see you. Because I see you in the program, then of course I'm going to work with you to make sure you're doing this right. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, and by the way, everyone keep moving. Keep moving. Don't stop. Don't quit. It's so easy to quit. You know? So easy to quit. That's what everyone else does. Just keep going. Just add some more life to you. If your goal is to at least walk a mile without stopping and you can't only walk 5 feet, I'm the best shot you got. But we have to do endurance training. We have to do cardiovascular. That's what we're doing right now. Okay? Just hang in there. Hang in there. Breathe. Stop just moving your legs. You're moving really fast and breathing super slow. Not going to work. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Somebody mentioned on the comments that they have a lot of air trapping. If that's the case, keep moving, please. Keep moving. If you have a lot of air trapping, like you're having a hard time getting rid of a lot of it, okay, because it's trapped in your lungs, then I need you to learn how to properly per-slip breathe, and that will help get rid of that excess air. In order to do that, you got to know how to per-slip breathe properly. So, for those that have not taught you how to do this, I will show you. Hold a piece of tissue, arm's length in front. If you're able to move that violently, and don't bend that arm. Don't bring it closer to you. Furthest reach, okay? If I'm able to move that forcefully, like violently, that per-slip breathing I'm demonstrating will work. I will splint my airways open. I will push a little more oxygen into my blood, okay? Oxygen still gets in your blood if you take a regular breath. pursed lip breathing just forces it there, okay? So let's see if my pursed lip breathing will work. Not doing anything. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm not breathing in deep enough. Maybe I'm not pursing my lips tighter. There you go, that works. So if I did this, that is pushed. That's the pressure I want to remember when I need to pursed lip breathe. So if you have a lot of air trapping disease, pursed lip breathe as you exhale. I, as an athlete, I do a lot of decathlons, I do a lot of swimming, you know, I do a lot of that stuff. I love sports, you know, as a lot of guys do, you know, but I love sports. But instead of, I won't pursed lip breathe, what I'll do is a hissing technique. I'm creating back pressure, what we call PEEP, positive end expiratory pressure. Just like what Charles' law states, high pressure follows that low pressure. So when you pursed lip breathe, or you do that hissing technique with proper pressure, you're actually forcing oxygen into the blood, but you're also splinting collapsed airways that have that air trapped in your lungs. As you pursed lip breathe, it'll help release that trapped air. So make sure you're pursed lip breathing correctly, okay? No worries. All right. Keep going, keep going. We're 4 minutes in, 4 minutes in. No point of quitting. You're almost at the finish line. Okay? Now stop breathing like a corpse. Put some life into you. Breathe in deep enough to get a chest rise. And everyone, I hope you understand I'm not yelling. This is just me. This is how I coach. I'm ex-military. I tend to talk louder than most people. But it's just my persona. It's just who I am. Don't take offense. I don't want somebody to think that he's like, oh, he's yelling. I'm not yelling. Just how I coach, you know. All right. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay within a good range. Okay? Stay within a good range. You're 5 minutes in. Make sure you're breathing. Chest rise breath. Chest rise breath. Make sure you take a chest. Yeah, there you go. Breathing deep enough for a chest rise. Don't breathe shallow. Last time I checked, you're a human being. You're not a little gerbil. I doubt they breathe deep. I don't know. Just you go with it. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Somebody was asking, should I breathe in through my nose first? It doesn't matter. The rule is stop making everything so much calculus. Just get the darn air into the lungs. Just get it in there. If it goes in through your nose, go through your mouth, that's fine. Okay? Now, when it's winter, you might want to breathe into the nose a little bit more. That'll help humidify the air that's coming into your lungs so it's not so much of a shock. Stop looking at that pulse ox. Come on. Breathe in. Trust your sensations. How do you know your oxygen is low? How would you know without your pulse ox? Lightheaded and dizzy, blurry vision. Okay, those symptoms. How do you know your heart rate's high? Winded. How out of breath you feel. If you're not feeling winded or out of breath, then most likely CO2 is lower. If you're feeling winded, most likely CO2 is higher. That means your heart rate's going to be higher. Heart rate and CO2 come up together. Okay? All I'm trying to say is be your own pulse ox. Stop using that pulse ox. I see this a lot. Keep going, keep going. I see this a lot where somebody puts their pulse ox and they'll say, it's like, oh my goodness, I turned it on, it's 30%. I was like, what do you mean it's 30%? It's 30%. How many of you would call 911 if you saw that? 30% oxygen. You would? You'd be dead if that was true. You're telling me you would have called 911 if that was actually a fact? If that was true, you would have been dead. You wouldn't even be capable to visually see those numbers. All right, let's go over the oxygen really quick. Okay, simple, easy stuff. Oxygen. Ooh, let's see. What is normal oxygen anyways? 80% or higher. 88, I'm sorry. 88% or higher. Okay? But there are some patients where their normal oxygen blood levels are 80%, 85%, and that's their normal. Because us as pulmonary practitioners, we're not worried so much. Keep going, guys. You're not that far off the finish line. Trying to keep your mind off the game. Okay? Some people think about the exercise so much. Trying to keep your mind off of it. But some people, they put their pulse ox on, and they see the first number, and they let their pulse ox justify how they should feel. All right? So, if my oxygen was down to 70, what would happen? Chances of passing out. If my oxygen was down to 40, what would literally happen? My heart would have stopped. That's a true, by the way, for those that don't know. That will happen. If your oxygen actually literally goes down to 40, your heart will stop. Okay? Even before that. How about, where's the oxygen levels if you're down to 50%? What type of symptoms, or how about this? What type of signs? Because you're probably passed out at 70. If it goes down into the 50s or 60s, how would you display yourself? Like, what would you see? If you saw somebody who's sitting at 50%, how would you know they're sitting at 50% is what I'm trying to say. They're not out of breath. Out of breath isn't caused by oxygen. It never has been. That would contradict every single medical book in generations. It doesn't happen like that. So if my oxygen is down to 70, okay, passing out. If I'm turning blue in the lips, bluish gums, you know, my fingers are blue, my lips are blue, my nose, my ears are blue, oxygen most likely is in the 50s. Okay, how do you pick up your oxygen? Breathe more frequently, more deeper. Okay? That will boost your oxygen up quicker. I'd rather breathe in, filling my lungs up to a gallon than filling up with a tablespoon of air. You're not giving it enough. You got to pick more up. You got to do more for yourself. All right, everyone, stop. That was 10 minutes. Recover, recover, recover. Okay, you got to recover. No. Focus on me. Let's do it together. Recover. There's a recovery breathing. Your heart rate's still elevated. If you're exercising and you're exercising with me, okay, for 10 minutes, I bet your heart rate's high. So let's do recovery. You and me together. Ready? Breathe in. No good. Chest rise breath. Stop breathing like a turkey, okay? I know it's almost Thanksgiving, but you're about to be grateful about breathing better. That's a good one. I should use that more often. So, yeah, that was actually a really good one. I like that analogy. All right, breathe in. Ready? Come on, breathe in. Out. Purse lip, breathe out. No good. Proper purse lip breathing. Breathe in. Smell the flowers, put out the fire. In. Out. Breathe that fast to get rid of more carbon dioxide. Trust me. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Relax. In. Easy. See? I'd rather you catch your breath in 30 seconds or less than waiting 5 minutes panting. Some people wait until they're out of breath to incorporate good breathing habits. That's the worst thing you could do. Don't wait until you're near dead to do the right thing. Start first breathing the right way so you don't wind up out of breath. You guys going to learn a lot, but not bad. All right. Don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. We still got some time on here. Okay, we got to get into our stretches. All right, it's always proper to do stretches before and after. Proper nutrition. How much protein am I supposed to have per day? Does anybody remember? If you watch my videos, how much protein are you supposed to have per day? Well, you got to know what your ideal body weight is. You just use an ideal body weight calculator online. But ideal body weight in kilograms, okay, and you just multiply it. Like, I'm 82 kilograms of my ideal body weight based off of my height. So here's a calculator. I'm going to type in, let's see, 82 kilograms. I'm going to multiply that by 0.9. Dr. Shaw wants everyone at 0.9 grams of protein per day, not per serving, by the way. So I'd multiply by 0.9. I press equal, and that gives me 73.8. before my body goes in a cannibalism state if I don't eat enough protein. So I have to have 73.8 grams of protein per day. Now, does anybody remember, or does anybody know how much protein? Is that a lot of protein? Is that a lot of protein? No, it sounds like a lot. It's actually not. So here, this is what I found out for my kid to use the Meta AI. So I go on this Meta AI, I ask it a bunch of questions. So what I'm going to ask it is this. How much protein is in an 8-ounce piece of chicken breast, cooked? Any guesses? Anyone want to guess? All right, an 8-ounce cooked chicken breast typically contains 50 to 60 grams of protein. Keep in mind that protein content can vary slightly based on cooking methods and the chicken's origin. Would you like to know any more informational for cooking methods? No. Well, that's a lot, 50 to 60. I mean, I almost knocked it all out. If I had that in a glass of milk, I probably knocked out all my proteins for the whole day. Okay, if I don't, oh, and by the way, you don't have to have just chicken, you know, but if you had broccoli, I want to see how much, oh, we're going to stretch this in a second. Just give me a second. Why are you so eager to run? Huh? What, you're afraid you'll get better? That's what's going to happen. Here. How much protein is in broccoli? I know it's an ambiguous question, but I'm sure it'll give me grams of broccoli. Okay, so 1 cup serving, or 91 grams in weight of broccoli, contains about 4 grams of protein. 1 cup. I thought there would be more than that, but... Well, I mean, we'll go over nutrition and everything. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys like today. Remember that we're going very light. I don't want anybody getting injured. I don't want anybody to regret it. And we're all here to increase our lung functions and walk a lot further. But we got to know how to. And by the way, the walking with the breathing and walking, do it. Watch what happens. Most of my patients, when they start breathing the right way, they didn't realize that they just didn't know how to breathe. And it sounds silly. It really does. It sounds silly, but a lot of them were utilizing the 1:1 ratio, which is like 1 step inhale, 1 step exhale. Remember, chest rise breath. But anyways, 1 step I breathe in, 1 step I breathe out. And they started doing that, and they started walking further, and they just couldn't believe that it was like that. You know, like just the breathing, they were just missing. They were just missing that breathing. Legs worked, the breathing didn't. All right, let's get into stretches. Okay, everyone. Every patient. All right, everyone ready? All right, chin down and sternum, head rotations. 3 times each direction. Please go slow. Don't literally break your neck. Just go around. If you feel crunching or sounds of crunching, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't mean you're breaking your head. Just 3 times each direction. Make sure you're still breathing. Okay. Shoulder rotations, up and around. Up and around. Very good. Up and around. Don't go halfway. Go full rotations or else we lose it. There we go. Up and around. Give your body what it needs. Did you really think this was going to be permanent? Your lung disease was going to be a permanent thing? You don't have to live like that. My gosh. Everyone's like, I can't believe I did it. Well, it's like, what do you expect? No one's showing you how to do this stuff. So I'm glad you gave me the honor to do it for you, you know, or at least do it with you. Pull one knee real close. Circular motions with your toes, 3 times each direction. Yeah, but if you sign in them on your lungs, you can start any day. You can start any day, any of those days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're going in a mind you lung, extend your leg all the way out, and then you'll see me in class. Okay? I will see you in class. But you have to know how to use the Zoom, of course. It has to be downloaded. But once you click on that link, it will download it for you. So remember, mind you lungs, on the preface, you'll see meet, you know, time to meet the clinicians. Go and drop that leg down, switch to the next leg, knee up. This is a gluteal stretch. So just pull that knee real close. The stretch is about right here. Okay? Pull that knee as close as you can. If you can't bring it up that high, then that's okay. Just do what you can. Circular motions with your toes. And by the way, this is how I am with everybody, you know. And I have no choice but to be positive. You know, when I went into the Army in 99, Fort Knox, Kentucky, extend your leg all the way out. Make sure your knee is not bending. Toes more towards you. Hold that position. Hold it. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, but I'm like this with everyone, basically. Okay, relax. All right. Tuesday will be strength training. Hold on, guys. Tuesday will be strength training, okay? If you get into Mind You Lungs and you're seeing me, you can start Monday, Wednesday, Friday, any of those, okay? You just have to, you have access. As soon as you get into Mind Your Lungs, you have access. But those are for the people who actually want to be in, literally be in my class, okay? But please keep using the online, the free, Facebook. You know, I'm just doing this as a courtesy. But I see a lot of people are trying to find me, so I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to do everything I can for you. No big deal. That's, you know, that's what my job is. That's what I do for a living. Everyone, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. And I'll try to reply to some of these messages on here that I see you guys commenting, okay? Tuesday, weight training. Weights up to 5 pounds. You can use soup cans, water bottles, anything up to 5 pounds. Do not come in with 50-pound weights. You're going to hate life. So a lot of people have weights like this, but if you don't have these type of weights, you can use soup cans, water bottles. Just make sure they're equal in weight, okay? Equal in weight. Now, remember, Tuesday, 1 p.m., I'll see you guys there, okay? 1 p.m. And if you go into Mind You Lungs and you start class, then I'll see you on Monday, all right? In class. And I get to finally see you, and we get to work out together.